In the video game Tekken, hero Jin Kazuma needs to fight his way through the final round of a deadly martial arts competition, the Iron Fist Tournament. When the first version of the game came out in 1994, stunt star Cyril Raffaelli was no different than other kids in his small town in Normandy.
Ouais, j'étais quand même assez fan. Quand un personnage donnait un coup, tu pouvais vraiment le rattraper, l'esquiver, faire une projection. Et c'était vraiment un renouveau total dans le jeu, donc c'est vrai qu'on y jouait beaucoup.
Well, 15 years later, on the set of the movie Tekken, inspired by the video game, Cyril is still, in a way, in full control of the gamepad.
I think I rule very fast.
As the film's fight choreographer, his mission is to guide stuntmen and martial artists as they transpose these spectacular virtual fights onto the reality of the big screen. For actors, action movies are often a one-way ticket to stardom. But this relies on the skill and expertise of stunt performers, whose job it is to take the hits. Stunt professionals normally work in the shadows, but the story you're about to see depicts their real life. And in this movie, they are the stars. Shreveport Fairgrounds, Louisiana. Inside this coliseum, rodeos and basketball games have been put on hold. For many weeks, this building has been hosting the ultimate martial arts event in the futuristic world of the movie Tekken, the Iron Fist Tournament. With a script calling for 9 major fight scenes, the producers of Tekken never had a doubt. To create these fights, they definitely needed to bring in the most sought-after fight choreographer in the world. They needed French stunt sensation Cyril Raffaelli.
We didn't want just the standard punch, punch, block, punch. We needed something that was much more, much bigger, much more flamboyant, had much more character to it, and felt like the video game. So when you see Cyril's work, I mean, he's the foremost fighting expert right now in the world. And there was nobody else really to go to. He was the guy. He was the only guy on the list.
Today, the crew is entering the last stretch of the shoot. With 8 major fights already in the can, Cyril and his fighters now have to deliver the final fight of the tournament. This is definitely one of the most important scenes in the movie, the moment when hero Jin Kazuma must take on the defending champion Yoshimitsu.
Get ready for the next battle.
Shooting this kind of fight, where the fighters have to learn and perform close to 50 moves, is a long process. And with only 3 days left in the production to do it, there's no time to lose. Most of the choreography Cyril created for Tekken were rehearsed weeks in advance. But ironically, with so much on his plate for this production, Cyril ended up creating this fight, the final one, at the very last minute yesterday.
Je crois que j'ai monté cette chorégraphie-là en une demi-heure à peu près. Fallait la finir très très vite parce qu'on tournait le lendemain.
Luckily for the performers, the action is divided into small sequences, demanding only 5 or 6 moves each. The segments are shot one at a time, but not necessarily in chronological order. A fight scene is like a puzzle, where each piece finds its place in the editing room. Today, the team concentrates on segments that are going to take place at the beginning of the fight. As the shooting moves along, Cyril takes advantage of every break to revise his choreography with his fighters and to rehearse the upcoming moves in between the shots. Lead actor John Fu is a spectacular martial artist who also works as a stuntman on occasion. And in the black suit, playing Yoshimitsu, is Gary Stearns, an experienced and versatile stuntman specializing in Japanese weapon handling.
One of the main reasons we hired Gary is he's done a lot of Chinese movies and he's an unbelievable martial artist, but he learns it like this. And when he's rehearsing with John, he could say, okay, hey, throw a punch here, throw a kick here, and can guide him through it. So, you know, with all his expertise of everything he's done, he was a perfect fit for this show.
Stunt coordinator Eric Norris sure knows what he's talking about. Son of actor and stuntman Chuck Norris, he literally grew up in the world of stunts and martial arts. In fact, the guys who hired Cyril Raffaelli are all considered top guns in their own specialty.
Le cinéma d'action, c'est quand même, ça appartient un peu aux Américains. Ils savent très bien faire ça. Nous, on débute, par exemple en tant que Français, dans le cinéma d'action.
And it doesn't matter if you're Chinese, American, French, Russian, or whatever it is, we're all in here making a movie. We're all trying to be creative and we're all doing the best job we can. So it's a total collaboration. I mean, Cyril has an idea of what he wants to do and we all have the same goal at the end of the day is to do the best and make a great movie.
Good job, you guys.
After a few hours, stunt coordinator Eric Norris is satisfied with the execution of the first part of the battle. But that doesn't mean it's totally in the can yet. For hours to come, stuntman Gary Stearns and actor John Fu will do the same moves over and over so that the cameras can capture the action from multiple angles. But now that this part of the choreography is locked, Cyril can leave the arena and walk outside to the second unit, where a different type of action awaits him. Coming up, a spectacular discipline developed in France makes its way into the world of Tekken.
Moi j'ai des messages du Japon, de Chine, de jeunes. Tout d'un coup les jeunes complètement se sont accaparés et le parcours et la cross street. Ils ont fait des mix.
Cyril Raffaelli may be Hollywood's hottest fight choreographer right now, but his stunt expertise goes way beyond simply martial arts. As a stuntman and actor, he recently worked on the action flick Live Free or Die Hard, starring Bruce Willis. He also choreographed the mind-blowing fight scenes of the movie The Incredible Hulk. And the stunt team he's created in Paris now travels all around the world to perform all types of stunts for movies and commercials. On the set of the movie Tekken, where he acts primarily as a fight choreographer for the martial arts sequences, Cyril was also asked to conceive of a very different stunt scene taking place in a completely different setting.
Alors effectivement, on a deux plateaux, deux équipes avec des actions qui se tournent en même temps. Donc de temps en temps, comme on n'a qu'une doublure et qu'un seul chorégraphe, bah on passe d'un plateau à l'autre.
Past those walls, movie magic takes us to the ravaged city of Anvil. In this stage setting, inspired by the video game Tekken, Cyril had to create a spectacular chase where the hero Jin Kazuma jumps up and down roofs and alleys in his attempt to escape a gunman trying to kill him. Just like a combat scene, this chase had to be broken down in segments, most of which have already been shot. But tonight, as the first unit continues to shoot the final fight inside the arena, just outside the door, the second unit is about to shoot one of the two remaining segments of the chase.
Au lieu de passer par là où tu passes, tu vas faire son chemin habituel.
Mohamed Elashi is part of Cyril Raffaelli's French stunt team. In this movie, he acts as John Fu's stunt double. During the fight scenes, John is able to perform most of the moves himself, and only the very delicate segments are left to Momo. But when it comes to jumping up and down balconies, this is definitely a stuntman's job.
Là en fait, là c'est Momo qui a pris la place de l'acteur principal, parce que c'est une petite scène un peu à danger. Et donc le truc qu'il y a, c'est qu'il doit partir en fait de l'aération, sauter sur la barre, mais juste avec un seul pied, donc c'est une toute petite barre, faut bien viser. Et de la barre arriver sur le toit et ensuite au sol. Là c'est le premier personnage de la poursuite, ensuite il y a ceux de derrière qui vont aussi intervenir.